Maggie Seaver on the late 1980s hit show Growing Pains. But Joanna Kerns has since conquered many challenges in her life, succeeding as a powerhouse television director and recently beating a health scare in a story that will inspire women everywhere.
Show me that smile again.
Joanna Kerns might be best known for playing one of America's favorite moms, Maggie Seaver, on the hit 1980s sitcom Growing Pains, opposite the late Alan Thicke.
But you have always been a good kid. That's my crime?
But for the past 2 decades, she's moved behind the camera, directing episodes of some of your favorite shows, like ER, Grey's Anatomy, Pretty Little Liars, The Goldbergs, Jane the Virgin, and Crazy Ex-Girlfriend. And her latest project, directing an episode of This Is Us, which she announced on Twitter last month. But now she's stepping out from behind the lens to reveal something very personal, her battle with breast cancer. And after undergoing a double mastectomy, she has decided to share her story in hopes of helping others. And Joanna Kerns is with us now. She's joined by surgeon and founder of the Pink Lotus Breast Cancer, Dr. Kristi Funk, who has helped other famous names as well, like Angelina Jolie and Sheryl Crow, understand their options when facing breast cancer. Welcome to you both. Thank you. Joanna, you went in for your annual mammogram, and was it a normal mammogram?
Well, no. Actually, I met Kristi, Dr. Funk, about 8 years ago. And at that time, she recommended, because of the kind of breast tissue I had very dense breast tissue, that I should have an MRI at that time. But this mammogram was a CESM. It was a contrast mammogram.
And they shoot you up with dye. You get an IV full of dye.
You get iodine, and the iodine actually lights up what Kristi needed to see.
It lights up patterns of blood
And this is
flow.
what we're showing. So, Kristi, can you walk us through what we're seeing here?
Sure. So on your left, you see the yellow arrow pointing to these little white speckly dots of calcium. Ductal carcinoma in situ, which is a stage 0 breast cancer, often presents this way on a mammogram. So what happens is the milk ducts inside become crowded out with cancer cells, but they have yet to break through the duct wall and actually invade. So it is a stage 0. And those cells sometimes die and spit out flecks of calcium, which you see on the left. On the right, this is the same mammogram, but allowing the contrast to course through. Contrast pools where blood flow goes. So cancer brings blood flow to it.
You can see it better when you have the dye, and you saw it clearly.
Right.
But when she says to you it's stage 0, I mean, I would think, okay, so I'm good, right? I'm good.
I had never heard of stage 0. And basically that means that it's within the milk duct and it hadn't invaded. It hadn't left and gone to my lymph nodes.
But the invasion's coming.
Which is, I mean, it was such a blessing for me. And I have to say, I caught this early because I'm privileged enough to have access to quality health care.
Right, right.
Yeah.
You decided to have a double mastectomy.
Yes, yes.
What most surprised you about that?
Well, actually, I decided to have the double mastectomy because of the type of cancer that was within the duct. It is called HER2 positive, which Kristi explains if it's within the duct, it's okay, but if it had invaded or was outside or was in the other breast and we didn't know,
right?
You know, absolutely, it would have meant a year of targeted chemotherapy and radiation and all kinds of things. So I decided pretty quickly to do the mastectomy. And what surprised me was the recovery was pretty tough.
It was tough.
Yeah.
Is it true that it was only 1 week after your surgery that Alan Thicke died?
Yes. It was 7 days out.
Wow.
Yeah.
So for women out there who are worried that their regular mammogram isn't going to catch the stage 0 in situ that Joanna had, what say you?
So the contrast mammo that we've been talking about is really for diagnostic workup when there's an issue. My favorite mammograms right now are the 3D tomosynthesis if you have dense breasts. So 3D gets a better look. If you take a loaf of raisin bread and squish it and take a picture and tell me to find the raisins, it would be a lot easier if I could get 15 slices, which is what 3D gives you. So look for a 3D mammo if you have dense breasts, and also ask about whole breast screening ultrasound.
Okay, right. So, but if you get the ultrasound, should you assume you don't need to ask about the contrast dye? That's just if your doctor says, I see something and I want to examine closer.
Exactly.
Okay, so your doctor will let you know if you need, we presume, this stage 2. How are you now?
I'm great. I'm really good.
I'm so excited for the This Is Us episode. So you're going out there.
Oh, yes, I love that show. I'm a big fan of the show, and I'm very excited. I'll be directing in January.
So jealous. Good for you.
Thank you.
Lots of love and luck. Thank you both.
Hello, Today fans. Thanks for checking out our YouTube channel. Subscribe by clicking that button down there and click on any of the videos over here to watch the latest interviews, show highlights, and digital exclusives.